The BC2 by Porter and Davies. Let's have a look. What exactly is the BC2? It's a tactile monitor which is built into a drum seat. So I haven't got it in my hands now, like in the intro, because I'm actually sat on it because it's really, really comfortable. Basically, there is a speaker stroke transducer. I don't know which. That's just my theory. I mean, it could have fairy dust in it for all I care, because it's absolutely ridiculous. But basically, you have this module, which I'll show you in a minute, which is just down there, which is powered just by a normal, electricity plug straight into the wall. So your seat will then connect to the BC2 via a Speakon NL4 cable, which is your standard Speakon cable, which powers the seat. First, you have your kick drum microphone. Goes in the back of the bass drum, or, at the front of the bass drum, right in the center, is up to you. That then runs into your BC2 module. And then that is going into, depending on what gig situation you're in, that is then going to go into the mixing desk or into your in-ears, or it's up to you. Basically, what it does is it has a zero lag and undescribable sensitivity of when you play the bass drum, the sound that's capturing through the mic is actually coming back up through the seat, through this wizard device that they've made. So every time I'm kicking the bass drum, I've actually got it turned on now with... there's a strength dial, which I'll show you as well. I've got it on about 60%, I guess. I don't know if you can see this, but when I'm looking at the camera, every time I'm kicking, my vision is actually shaking a little bit. To best describe it, I mean, you'd have to experience this firsthand, but if you've played a gig where it's been a huge venue, like outdoor festival, something large, or a gig that has really powerful side fields or stage monitors, and you don't use in-ears, you've got the monitors absolutely cranked, they're absolutely pounding new, and you can actually feel the bass drum. That's what it's like. The feeling you get is it's like you're playing a bass drum that's like the size of a house. You can try and describe it, but until you feel it, there's no way you're going to understand through the video what it's like. You really have to get down to a shop and try one of these, or at least try and beg someone to borrow theirs. I play in a band very regularly, like pop covers band. I also do, all my session work and everything. And I use in-ear monitors all the time. Since I've changed in-ear monitors, it's one of those things that once you change and use in-ear monitors, you can't go back, because it's unbelievable. Like the clarity, and you can hear everything. It makes you play more confident. The BC2 is a step up from that. Now I've tested this like A to B. I've played with it, and then I've taken it away, and instantly I feel very depressed. As soon as you take it away, it's like you're playing on a bass drum that has like a little kid's bass drum, like it has nothing inside. Whereas this is a 22 by 20, so it's a massive kick drum, and the BC2 adds so much to it with the vibration, and it's almost not vibration. It almost feels like there's extra low end added into the bass drum, because you're feeling all that low end come up through your whole body. I can feel it. If I turn the sensitivity up, I'll demonstrate now. We'll put it at 100% and see what happens. I can feel the whole bass drum. It's making my cheeks wobble, for Christ's sake. It feels like I'm playing on the biggest Glastonbury main stage with 400 side fills and monitors bombarding me and my body at every angle. I mean, it just makes playing the bass drum such a fun thing to do, because I'm sure everyone can understand, other drummers, that you've played a gig and your bass drum sounds awesome, and it sounds awesome at the front, and to you, if you've got in-ear monitors, it can sound all right if you've got very, very expensive drivers and ones that seal very well. But with the BC2, you could have terrible in-ear monitors or no in-ear monitors at all. And you could still be 100% confident that you're going to hear, or at least hear, you're going to feel the bass drum. This has added so much to my in-ear mix that I used to have sort of guitars and the rest of the band, about 25, 30%, and then the kick drum's a lot higher than that. Just so I can feel the kick drum, get into it, and it makes me play better. But this has really made it so I've had to bring my kick drum level right down in my in-ears because it's at first overpowering. You can adjust this, but I've got mine set so I actually get a bit of bleed from the toms as well. So when I hit the floor tom, I can feel that all the way on the... It's almost like you're sitting on a platform and that platform is just exploding. Even up to the rack toms. When you hit the rack tom, it vibrates at a different frequency and you can actually feel that. But the bass drum is what you'd mainly use it for. You can also, for the metal guys out there, because it has a line in, I've tried this as well, you can run your trigger module into the line in. So every time you hit the trigger and it sets off, you can feel every hit of the trigger. Every time the trigger fires, you can feel every hit, which is... it's going to be invaluable to drummers, because there's some drummers out there, me included, who we play with triggers just because it's a necessity, because otherwise people won't hear all your fast kick work. So now you can... the audience can hear it, you can hear it, but also you can feel it. You can actually feel... And it doesn't matter if the guitarist has got his amp on 11, like they all, they do. You can hear what I feel. I keep saying hear, but you actually feel the bass drum. But what I found is using the BC2 makes your bass drum seem that it's louder. So that's why I say hear, because when you play it, you hear that the bass drum's louder. But actually, nothing's changed. You're just feeling it now, feeling the sub, unlike the woof, through the stool. Let's have a look at the bits. So that's for your power, obviously. You got your mic level, line level, mic and line inputs. You got your mic out, so your microphone from the bass drum goes into this, and then you take that out, and that goes into your desk or when you're recording or stuff. Here's your master volume. I'm about there, because any more than that, and my bits start to wobble. So I'm on about there. That's the low contour knob, which is great. So if you hate your bass player, just turn that. It gets rid of him. And that's the speak-on connector, which goes into the seat, which powers the seat top. And it all fits together really, really nice. I mean, you just put the top on, which I'll demonstrate. Just like this. And then just clamp those two down. I mean, it's very small, very compact, and sturdy. I mean, it's a bit of a beast. Another thing you can do is run... so if you're playing in a band that you have your own personalised in-ear mix, so you have drums, bass, keys, guitar, vocals, you can run whatever you want through the BC2. So I can have a subgroup mix. I can have my normal mix, but say I just wanted the kick drum, the bass guitar, and my toms to feel it. I mean, and the bass guitar, you can feel the bass player playing and run that through the BC2, and which is ridiculous. You can really lock in with the bass player. I mean, obviously it depends on what kind of bass player you're playing with, because we all know what they're like. So if you've got a really good bass player and you're locking together anyway, the BC2 is just going to add another level for you guys gelling together. It's really brought the life back into the music for me. Once you try one, you'll never go back. Honestly, it's quite frankly ridiculous. Right, I'm out. So I'm going to mic drop.